And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. We love to help you win. We got a great lineup for you today here on the program. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve, what's happening there, as well as Ray Hall Appraisals. He's our appraisal expert, all things for valuations of real estate of all types. And we got Chuck Peterson in the house as well, Suncoast Roofing. Chuck Peterson in the house. And we got some interesting stories as well. LeBron James weighs in on vaccine mandates. We also have a feel-good story. Two moms realized their daughters were switched at birth, so they raised them together. Interesting stories. Got a great lineup for you here on the program. Before we jump into it, I want to thank one of our sponsors here. We've got Ramin Kazami. He owns a pressure washing company. It's Heights Soft Wash right here in Tampa Bay. Reach out. It's a great time of year to get that clean going on before you go into the winter. Ramin Kazami, Heights Soft Pressure Washing right here in Tampa Bay. Reach out. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives. And plus, we're doing a public service, kind of a PSA type announcement here. Tampa Bay's Best Career Fair, October 20th, Wednesday, October 20th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Largo Event Center. I know a lot of business owners are looking to hire, and I've talked to people out there looking to get hired. So we put it on. It's sponsored by the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and Massive Marketing Pros. You can register on Eventbrite. Just go to the eventbrite.com page and search up Tampa Bay's Best Career Fair. Again, Wednesday, October 20th, 6 o'clock, network with over 30 businesses. And make sure you share the word out there. A lot of people that you might know may be struggling, maybe looking for a new employment, maybe looking for a new career path. But that's going to be a fun event that we're putting on. And we've got Chuck Peterson in the house. Welcome in, my friend.
Yeah, good to be here. Good to be back in the sunny, the Bay Area where we're not getting any rain today.
Yeah, and you got your Carolina or your NC State Wolfpack red on.
Yeah. I just thought I'd bring that in to remind you, about the football game and all.
Yeah, they looking good though. Your team's looking good this year, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We have a tendency to play great and beat the big dog, and then the next week you just get run over by the little dog because you can't remember how to win.
Kind of have a letdown.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see.
Excellent, man. Good stuff. I want to just plug one of our listings here. We got a couple of hot listings let you know about here in Tampa Bay. We got this property in South Tampa. This one's 6012 Russell Street in South Tampa. This is a beautiful property. It's $1 million listing of mine. Gorgeous Mediterranean palace right here in South Tampa. It's one block from Bayshore, 2,953 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, custom built, Ballast Point home. Just over $1 million listing of mine. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. Wrought iron staircases, travertine floors, extremely large walk-in closets. Beautiful property right here in beautiful South Tampa. 6012 South Russell Street in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, let's jump into it. Chuck Peterson's in the house. So, Chuck, we love talking about consumer advocate tips, things to do, things to avoid.
Yep.
And, of course, it comes up from time to time, these unscrupulous contractors out there looking to scam people out of their money, their hard-earned money. And you guys are the good guys here.
Well, we'd like to think we are, right? I mean, we that's our intent, right? So, but you and I have talked numerous times, and we know we had a lot of rain the last 2 months. I mean, it's been getting pounded, and a lot of people have had contractors come to their house to do repairs or tarp their houses or whatever. And our advice, right, is to always make sure you know who's coming, right? We've talked about it several times where we've gone to somebody's house where they've given another contractor a huge deposit. The tarp might have got put on a house, and then the people are never to be seen again, the contractors, and the people are just out the money.
Yeah.
So as a consumer out there, I mean, you have to take just a little bit of time, and you have to do a little bit of homework on who you're calling. Yeah. Make sure it's somebody who's reputable, somebody who's licensed in the state, somebody who can pull their own permit. They're not asking you to pull a permit, right?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are red flags. If they ask for 50% deposit, 40% deposits, hey, we need to back up and talk to somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck Peterson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Suncoast Roofing. And don't be afraid to get an attorney involved, right?
No.
When it comes to time with bickering with that insurance company, just say, okay, that's how you want to play ball?
Yeah, or a PA, really. I mean, there's a public adjuster.
Public adjuster.
Yeah, so you can get an attorney or public. If your insurance company's giving you the runaround, unfortunately, as a consumer, unless you've done an insurance claim, if your insurance company is giving you the runaround, you don't really have a way to battle that because the system is kind of stacked against you.
Yep.
Because the adjuster that came to your house works for the insurance company.
Right.
So you need to have somebody that works for you on your side.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, a contractor can't be that person. The state law has changed, and a contractor can't be that person. So we have public adjusters that we would highly, highly recommend that we work with all over the state that could come in. We actually just settled one 2 days ago for a lady up in Spring Hill, and she'd been getting the runaround, got denied. We brought in our guys. 2 months later, she's got her check in her hand yesterday.
Nice.
So they can take care of you as the consumer and protect your interests versus the insurance company protecting their interest.
Right.
And then we get to put the roof on. You pay your deductible, and that's all you pay, and everything's taken care of.
Yeah. It's an interesting landscape because people, it's like you go through school, you learn the basics, but you don't learn how to handle these types of situations that come up.
Yeah, and if you haven't put a roof on your house or haven't had, any capital type expenditure done to your house in the last 10 years, and the insurance company sends you a piece of paper that says we're going to give you, we'll say $10,000, and you go, oh, that's a big amount.
Right.
But you don't know your roof really should be $15,000 because you have no idea.
Right.
And you say, oh, that's great. Then you've put yourself at peril to have to pay $5,000 extra.
Yeah.
Because you just didn't, not that you're a bad person, you just didn't know.
Yep.
And you didn't protect your interest by making sure you got somebody who did know.
Yeah, and the lowest quote is not necessarily the best quote for you.
Yeah.
And here's a clip on that I want to play also. It's talking about the backlog of shipping supplies and trucking. Yeah. This is happening especially from Asia out in California. Here's a clip that we're going to play from the Daily Wire morning podcast.
Their main action here has been considering lowering the minimum age of truck drivers from 21 to 18 and also loosening immigration restrictions for trucking companies so they can hire more workers from abroad. They're hoping that more truck workers and more truck drivers will mean less of a backlog.
Okay. So some action being taken in terms of trucking. Which businesses are most impacted by this backlog?
So right now it's mostly impacting businesses that rely on goods from Asia because those products are imported through California, where the bottleneck is most noticeable. So Nike, for example, has been hit really hard. They just recently lowered their revenue projections for the year, and they said supply chain backups were the main reason. Costco is dealing with the same issues, and they're actually limiting the purchase of some goods to compensate, most noticeably toilet paper. So you might see some of the early...
Oh no, toilet paper again. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? I will say the trucking for the construction business.
Yep.
Trucking is the biggest thing, and capacity, right? The construction business doesn't buy a lot of overseas. The most foreign items that come in from Canada or Mexico, the forestry products and that kind of stuff. 90% of all the roofing materials and all that comes in is U.S. made.
So not as much from Asia then.
Right. But the trucking is a huge, the capacity can be done. My brother-in-law works in logistics for the Monster Drink Company, right? He runs a warehouse in Charlotte and one in Tampa, actually. And he's all the time like, anybody drive a truck, we can't get stuff done. We just can't get it out. We don't.
Wow.
We can't fulfill our orders because we don't have enough drivers.
Wow.
I have another brother-in-law that works for Freightliner, and they're in the same boat. They can't even get enough guys to drive the trucks when they're finished to the places where they're going to be picked up. to get them off their lot.
Does that seem like a viable solution then? They talked about loosening immigration,
yes,
and then reducing the driver's age from 21 to 18.
Yeah, I mean, all those drivers have to have CDLs, and they have to pass the tractor trailer courses and go. You can go to college and do anything you want before you're 21. I have no issue if they pass it that you could and understand why they made it 21 way back then, because if it took a little experience, well, hey, that's probably better for us on the road.
Yeah.
But we need to get the products moving. I mean, so let's lower it. Let's loosen the immigration. Loosen the immigration laws would help the entire construction industry, not just the trucking industry, as you well know.
Right, legal immigration.
Yeah, I mean,
and then also on the truck driver reducing the age, do it like you do with the 15-year-olds about to turn 16. Put them in a car with somebody, or a big truck, a big rig with somebody for 6-8 months or whatever that is, until they get a core competency.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways these big companies would handle that if they had that opportunity, and it would surely help the flow of the business products across the entire U.S., not just necessarily from California, but like I said, just right here in Florida.
Right.
I mean, we're waiting, months to get shingles. Sometimes the shingles are actually, the capacity of the plant actually has them, but we can't get them from the plant to here because we don't have the transportation piece of the puzzle done yet.
Yeah. So, and Thomas King was mentioning also something about he's hearing out there that there might be a strike on with some of the truckers and some of that stuff.
I mean, they're sitting in a pretty good spot if they ain't got a big pay raise lately. I mean, I mean, not that we're saying you ought to do that, but hey, if you've been paying these guys and you're demanding they work 50, 60 hours a week, even though you're paying them overtime, I mean, you're putting a strain on people's lives and their families and all that. Yeah, you need to pay them.
It's all about economics and making it work.
And they're saying, well, we'll have to raise the prices. Okay, so raise the prices a little bit.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, the people need to make a good wage.
Right. Yeah, a fair wage.
Yeah,
and
if you're running guys all over the countryside and they can't see their families for, you ought to pay them.
Depending on how many days on the road they are, et cetera.
Yeah, with you.
Absolutely. All right, we're talking with Chuck Peterson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Suncoast Roofing, longtime friend of the program. We always talk about supporting the local economy right here on the show, supporting the local-based businesses here. We greatly appreciate all that do. Call into our hotline 813-750-0550. Call or text anything that you hear about on the show today. We greatly appreciate all that do. Support the show. We love America. We're patriots on this program. We love our country, and we support our local economy here through the program. 813-750-0550. What else are you seeing out there, Chuck?
Now that the rain has slowed down a little bit, we're backlogged. Our production is backlogged because we had so much calls while it's raining, but we haven't had the storm this year, right? I mean, we dodged another year.
Yeah.
Looks like we'll probably make it out this year without one. But,
thank God. But
people need to really take the advantage of the time and get their roofs looked at over time, right? Between now and springtime, need to call a roofing company if you think you got it. If your roof is starting to age, make sure you don't wait, because if it comes apart, you're paying, right? I mean, you need to come get ahead of that.
Yep. So, one of our neighbors is dealing with some of that right now, and I hear like it's going into the drywall. So it's like once it's a leak, it's like going into everything, right? Yeah,
and it's been leaking for a while. If it gets down that far, I mean, your plywood on your roof actually soaks up some of that moisture until it finally is so wet that it starts leaking through. So once it gets to the piece of drywall in your house, it's been leaking for months,
right?
And you just didn't know because you didn't have anybody come look at your house.
Yep. And Suncoast, you will go take a look at people's roofs as well?
Yeah. I mean, we'll come right on out there and look at it. It doesn't cost you anything, and if there's repairs to be done, we'll give you a quote. Hey, here's what you need to do to fix this one spot, so that your whole roof doesn't fail. And let's get this taken care of now before next year comes and the roof fails.
Right.
And then you're doing the whole thing.
Yep. That's an important part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of the realtors listen to our show, realtors, mortgage, title folks. You are very specific and in tune into how to properly work with those types of referral relationships as well. Yeah,
and I mean, and speaking of that, and I thank you because 2 of your guys have called in the last 2 weeks. So and especially if they'll call me direct, they can call you guys. Just call Brandon and he'll give you my number and my cell number, and you call me, because I understand and we understand as a company that those negotiations are very, very time sensitive. You need the information right away.
Yeah.
We get that to you within a day or so that negotiations can take place. And if something has to be done to get a closing done, there's an inspection report. One side or the other agrees we got to do these repairs, but we have to have them done in this time. We'll get that done for you guys because we understand the timing is critical.
Right.
And so we'll move some stuff around and work with realtors, as 100% as we can.
Prioritize for the realtors for the transaction.
Yep.
Real quick, we got to get out of here on this one, but Suncoast Roofing and Solar. So you're adding solar onto homes now, and the best website for you.
Just the suncoastroofing.com. Yeah, and I'm gonna make one plug right quick.
Yes, sir.
Hubaween up in Hudson, right?
Yeah.
We have we are the main sponsors for that up there. There's 20 different companies or so, and they're putting on this fantastic show for the kids.
Cool.
The weekend before Halloween, and it's called Hubaween, and you guys should look at it and take your kids up there.
Send me some more info. I'll plug that.
Yeah,
I'll plug that for you. And my mom just moved up that way, so we'll have to go up there.
It's a merry thing, Okay. I'll have her get to you because we have your little sticker out there. So hey,
nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, man.
All right, buddy. Have a safe flight.
You too. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. That was Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing here on the program. Coming up, we got Ray Hall Appraisals. It's always an interesting conversation with Ray because he goes so deep into different types of appraisals, the market, the values, talking about commercial, vacant land. You get into, of course, residential. And then Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage on the program as well. We're going to talk about a little bit about what's going on with the Federal Reserve System here on the program. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 1,200 videos on YouTube now. Brandon Rhymes Realty is the channel there, as well as our podcast. You can pull us up on demand anywhere with the iTunes podcast. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We always like to help you win in your real estate deals when you're buying, selling, or investing. Please think of us, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top-ranked team. We're in the top 1% of all 25,000 plus realtors here in Tampa Bay, and we like to feature our real estate listings live on air on the show to help our sellers profit more and sell faster, utilizing our innovation with radio, TV, and internet marketing. We've got a couple of hot listings here. I want to let you know about a property that we've got, a commercial asset right here in Tampa, 4302 North Nebraska Avenue in Tampa. This is a beautiful corner lot location. You've got your own private billboard as well. So think about that. You buy the new office location, and you've got a billboard right there on site, going to help you blow up your business, and it's going to be a really cool opportunity. 4302 North Nebraska Avenue. Got a commercial property there available for sale, and it's perfect for the professional, the business, the office executive style property. 117 14th Street in Bel Air. This is a beautiful $1 million listing that we've got on Bel Air. Beautiful property, just a short walk to the beach. Got a double lot, private pool, and so many upgrades here at 117 14th Street in Bel Air. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we're going to go to the phone lines here. We've got Ray Hall Appraisals. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
I'm doing great, thank you. And yourself?
Doing great. Just out here busy trying to get everyone's appraisals done. And get
That's
these
right.
loans
And
going.
we also have Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Hey, Brandon and Ray, how you doing today?
Excellent.
Doing good.
Good.
Staying busy. We'd like to have you guys on together because you talk about the market. When we talk about the, what we're seeing out there, Ray, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing. I know you're busy, lots of orders. What's the trend out there?
Obviously, September orders picked way back up. July and August we had slowed down just a little bit, and we also had some issues that came up, my health, things like that. But we're back, and it's just really, really busy. We're probably about a month out on inspections, and from what I hear from other appraisers, they're very busy as well. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of the push might be where people are realizing that rates may be at their lowest. This is probably going to really push people to buy that house or refinance that loan to take advantage. It's probably going to be the lowest rates we're going to have for a long time.
Well, that leads right into Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Rates are definitely moving, and rates are starting to move up. Matter of fact, I have a comparison I'll share a little later, but in the cost of waiting and what they're predicting, of course. Now, nobody really knows, but the experts that are smarter than I am do predict those things. But as you guys know, what's going on in the economy right now is we have you have Yellen and Powell in the Senate and Congress, and they're actually speaking there, so that always makes things react as well. They're tapering on the bond purchasing, so that is another thing that's going to kind of make a difference on interest rates. So interest rates are starting to move. They've actually moved up somewhat, not a lot, but they have moved a little bit. So if people are thinking that they want to buy, they need to get busy because Powell he's warning Congress that inflation pressures could be longer than expected, and Janet Yellen is concerned about the debt limit, and we have the possibility of a default. So we're kind of a mess right now. So as far as financing goes, they need to do their jobs and get things done. But the cost of waiting even a year could be a lot of money to somebody. It could make a difference of $200 a month.
Yes.
In your payments if you wait a year on what the predictions are for interest rate. That's on a $400,000 property, plus your appreciation in a year. So the appreciation you'll be buying a more expensive home in a year from now.
Yeah, exactly. So talking about Powell, these names, you keep hearing Powell, you hear Yellen, you hear some of the same things. They talk about a debt limit. How about some limits on these people being in the news and being involved with these institutions? It seems like we need to clean out some of these people.
No, I always laugh. And this is my own personal opinion, but when I look at whenever they have all those big Congress and Senate and everybody in everybody in there, I'm looking at, I'm like, my goodness, their age. Anyway,
like how long have they been? You got people in there for 40 and 50.
Been there?
Yeah, 40 and 50 years. Let's clean them out. Oh man,
thank goodness. But not to say anything about older people, but that's I'm just always amazed.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things going on right now, economic wise, and they do need to pay attention, and they do need to, and take care of the country. But there is definitely inflation, so that is going to make interest. Anytime there's inflation, interest rates start moving, unfortunately, the economy, the worse it is, the better the interest rates get. So it's kind of crazy, but that's the way it works.
An inverse relationship there.
Yep, it is. We're busy as well.
Yep. All right, good stuff. Coming up, more with Ray Hall Appraisals, Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. We're going to talk about more about this. Also, the IRS is getting involved with your bank account now. $600 threshold being proposed in a new bill. And we're going to talk about down payment assistance programs as well as investor opportunities right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you check out our website, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Quick shout out to Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter and his team over at Veteran Gutters. They do such a great job. I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. Reach out to Brandon Porter with Veteran Gutters, American-made product, and he loves our great country. I can tell you that. And we like to feature our real estate properties live on air on the program. 1748 Colmar is a beautiful new listing that we've got in Holiday. This is a beautiful home. It's got a lot of neat little extras involved with it. A recreation room out back, solar on the roof, pool, just a beautiful property, air conditioning, closed air conditioning garage, so they close it in. 4 sheds. You got plenty of sheds and storage space. 1748 Colmar Drive in Holiday. Beautiful property. Check it out online. Also, 100 Oakmont Lane in Bel Air. This is a beautiful condo listing that we have. $1 million views from the 6th-story building. And it's 100 Oakmont Lane, Bel Air, unit number 611, 1,325 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, amazing views, in-unit laundry, large community pool, and a large family room. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And I want to go back to Ray Hall Appraisals. Ray, when we look at the market, there's a catch-22 that's happening right now with a lot of people. I'm talking to a lot of expired listings, and they're saying, hey, we tried to sell. We actually had an offer. We had a full-price offer, for example, and they say, well, but we couldn't find anything else to move to that we liked. So the inventory, here we are again, getting hit with this inventory problem.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is I think that's slowed down a little bit. I've maybe a little less so in Florida, but I know other parts of the country, it's becoming a little easier to get into a house now. And some of the listing times I'm seeing are pushed out a little bit more now. Sometimes you may want to, have your realtor look for those listings that have been on the market for over, 30 days to 60 days. And then kind of negotiate that down. Go to the table with some comps, with some support that maybe they're asking too much for their house. That's why it's still sitting on the market, and you can kind of negotiate from there. But I don't think we're still in that same market we were seeing in the late spring, where it was just the most beautiful thing in the world to go and buy a house. People are buying now. Not that we have a huge inventory, but there's a little bit of one out there that you can take advantage of a little better.
Yeah. I think I call it like that end of summer lull. You had that end of summer lull. Kids are getting back into school. Parents are more focused on that, getting kids back in school, or kind of falling into that fall pattern. And then now here we are. The weather's starting to turn a little bit nicely here in Florida. The humidity's starting to dissipate a little bit, and now you've got folks going to be coming down. So we've got our snowbird pattern coming back in, and that's going to call for an increase in demand as well. Diane, do you see that as well this time of year, like that seasonal thing that you see?
Yeah, we're starting to really see a lot of people that actually second homes coming, wanting to buy a second home because it is getting nice here. But I just got a report yesterday that pending homes were actually, settled down as far as it seems like it's a little leveling off a bit. So I think it's a good time for people to really start looking if they've kind of got frustrated in the past.
Yeah.
Kind of a better level of normalcy with the real estate.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
not totally normal.
Yeah,
not totally normal, but it's definitely better than it was.
We're going to see it show up in the reports like 30 days from now, 60 days from now, potentially, because the reports that we see from the MLS, the way the data's collected, the reports are a little bit behind. Yeah, say again, Diane?
That's correct. It's always behind.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we might see that change, but as of the last reports I saw, we're still at around 1 month supply of inventory, extremely high absorption rate, 70-80% or higher.
Yeah.
And if you just joined us, we're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here in Tampa Bay. If you want to speak to Ray or Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, you could reach out to our hotline and we'll put you right in touch, 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line. It's an off-air number, 813-750-0550. Call our hotline. We'll put you in touch with either one of our expert contributors here on the program. And, vacant land is also an interesting animal, so to speak, here in Tampa Bay. So I've got several parcels of land, 84 acres. I got another 43-acre parcel coming up very soon, just as soon as the sellers decide to, sign the agreement. We'll get that one marketed. But vacant land, for example, it's interesting, Ray. There's a lot that goes into valuing vacant land, and then you also have that battle of the county commissioners and some, like Pasco, for example, imposing a moratorium in certain areas due to the citizens saying, hey, how are we going to navigate these roads? What about our strains on our resources?
Yeah, that and that's considered a lot of times called level of service, and they grade that A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, F, and you can't just get a piece of land, look at the allowable density, and say, okay, great, I'm going to build myself, 5 townhomes, and then it's going to be spectacular. The county gets involved with that because they have to figure out what's going to be the impact on your project to the surrounding properties. Or even more so, does it conform to the surrounding properties? I remember helping someone once. They wanted to tear down 2 houses to build an assisted living facility, and I actually went in front of the commission with them, and they were basically saying there's nothing remotely commercial on this street or even on this side of the street. So not sure if we can approve this because everything commercial is on the other side. So, that's something that has to be considered. So it's land, people talk about how much money developers make, look at how much money Donald Trump made. Well, that's because there's a lot of risk involved in that investment.
Right.
And you can lose a lot of money. You've got to be very smart going into it. You can't just decide tomorrow, I'm going to be a developer, buy a bunch of land, and I've seen entire residential developments go into default. Yep. A lot of people don't realize Tampa Palm, that was a defaulted residential development back in the 80s and then was purchased from foreclosure and then redeveloped during a better economic time. So there's a lot that goes into improving land. And you've got to be very careful and be very knowledgeable.
Yep, absolutely. It's definitely cyclical. And then you look at, I had a failed project, or not a failed contract also on a assisted living facility. So it's frustrating too. I always talk about the seniors on the program. They're getting the short end of the stick on the stock market, and they're getting short end of the stick on sometimes places to live because of people saying, oh, not in my backyard. Well, where do you want these aging seniors, this aging population to live? But yeah, it's all a balance here on the show. So we talk a lot locally. I just want to touch on a national story here that just came out. Seems like a significant overreach from the IRS. I'm going to play a quick clip here. And so the banks, and it deals with the banks as well. $600 threshold being proposed in this new bill. Check out this clip from the Charlie Kirk Show.
A major part of this bill is to strengthen and increase the funding of one of the most corrupt and dangerous organizations on the planet, the Internal Revenue Service. Proposed in the bill was to give the IRS access to your bank accounts to be able to see all the information of your accounts holding more than $600 Now, this is probably unconstitutional. It's probably unwanted search and seizure, unwarranted search and seizure of your private transactions.
$600 seems like a pretty low threshold when they're claiming that they're trying to go after the rich.
They're going to be looking at everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying, hey, we want more power. How can we have more power? And by the way, don't forget, how the IRS treats certain groups differently than other groups. So that, we saw that happen in, I think it was 2012 or 13. But yeah, so $600, they can look into your bank account. I don't know. That seems unconstitutional to me.
Yeah, that's way too big a government. I mean, majority of people in the United States probably have over $600 in their account, especially at any given time before rent is due. I mean, the average rent is probably $1,000 a month, so of course everyone's got $600. So really, what you're doing is you're just giving the IRS permission to look at everybody's account whenever they want.
Bingo.
And that's ridiculous.
It sure is.
Yeah, they should take all that. They should take all that money and all those people, and they should actually probably fix some of their systems to be more efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Man, when you look at all the different programs and bureaucrats, and I forgot the number, but I think it's like 120,000 people with the federal government that are making at least $100,000 a year. I mean, think about how bloated our government is. I mean, it's unbelievable. We got to take a quick break here. When we come back, more from our local area experts, Ray Hall Appraisals, DianeVance.com. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage here on the program. Plus, our feel-good story of the day. Two moms realized their daughters were switched at birth, so they raised them together. Wow, what an interesting story here coming up. We'll be right back on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We always like to feature our real estate listings on our show. 722 Pruitt Drive, Madeira Beach. This is a beautiful duplex property that we've got here in Tampa Bay. 722 Pruitt Drive, Madeira Beach, waterfront. Beautiful property. Bring your boat, deep water access, and potentially live maybe mortgage free. You live on one side, you rent the other out, and this is a great opportunity at 722 Pruitt Drive, Madeira Beach. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so I love our feel-good story of the day. I mean, this is an interesting story. Two moms realized that their daughters were switched at birth, so they raised them together. So two women that were accidentally switched at birth have been raised as sisters to both families, Katerina Aglagna and Melissa Fadera, both 23 years old and in the same city in Sicily. They were born 15 minutes apart in 1998, but a hospital mix-up caused them to be raised by the wrong mothers. and it wasn't until the girls were 3 years old that the mistake was discovered. Mom Mariana Agla mentioned she picked up her daughter from nursery school, and she noticed a striking similarity between one of the other children, Katerina, and her two daughters. I recognized Katerina's mother, Gisela Fadera, from the maternity ward and got suspicious. 15 days later, they did an DNA test, and her mind went blank. She said it was too surreal. It was impossible. So Marinella and Giselle chose to gradually make the switch, and Gisela's quoted as saying, "I challenge anyone to raise a daughter for 3 years, then give her up on a simple mistake." But experts suggested that the girls spend 6 months apart with their biological families, and that lasted only 3 months. And she said, quote, "We two mothers cried on the phone to each other every day, and there for 3 months we couldn't resist, and we met and promised never to separate them." So there's actually a book that's been written about these sisters called Sisters Forever, which was also a recent release on a film by Italy's RAI TV. And the girls effectively grew up with 4 parents, 8 grandparents, and the experiment worked. They told the Times, and they're more like twins than sisters. So there's our feel-good story of the day. So switched at birth, man. Pretty crazy medical mistake. That's an interesting one.
Wow.
I guess it's better getting the wrong arm cut off or the wrong leg amputated. But we've heard about those mistakes over the years. But all right, so we've got Ray Hall Appraisals on the show. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Diane, I talked a little bit about down payment assistance. What are you seeing out there in terms of down payment assistance? People with low to no down payment, they can still get into a home, right?
Yeah, they can. There are a couple different programs. It depends on their income limit. It depends on their credit score. But there are some down payment assistance program. As a matter of fact, Freddie Mac offers a $2,500. Now their income has to be 50%, less than about $36,000, give or take, and they offer $2,500 towards closing costs. So it's a fairly new program. It's anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. There is some, state down payment assistance programs, different amounts. 3%, 4%, 5%. The interest rates, of course, fixed by the state. And there's down payment assistance programs all over the place, but it just depends on family income sometimes. Sometimes it's the income on the application. So it just depends on the individual situation.
Okay.
But there are a lot available. And, of course, veterans, everybody, VA loans, zero down. USDA that are in the rural areas is zero down as well, but that is limited on certain areas in the state and the counties.
Yeah, and there's ways you can get creative as well. You can ask the seller to contribute to your closing costs. Sometimes even the realtors will rebate monies back to you as well to help you get into the home. They can adjust the sales price, especially in a market like this with the appraisal values coming in higher. Traditionally you see that. Ray, I want to go back to you, Ray Hall, with Ray Hall Appraisals. The average consumer that is out there, what do they need to know right now? What do they need to be cautious of?
I would say cautious of, first of all, overpaying.
Yeah.
You don't want to overpay for your house because somebody up the street paid a ridiculous amount for that house. I get a lot of pushback sometimes from lenders who are saying, well, why is the range of value so wide on your appraisal? And I have to sit there and say, because people are just buying without thinking. So you want to be careful of overpaying. You want to be, and I've said this many times on the show, be an informed consumer. Educate yourself. Look in the area. I don't ever recommend websites like Zillow for determining value, but you can go on that website and see what's sold recently and do your own research as to what's going on in that market. Again, I don't trust that the value they give you. They're not even allowed to say it's the market value. But go ahead and see what's going on in the market. It's available for you. You have these tools. Use them to your advantage, and don't be too afraid to negotiate if that seller seems like they're not asking a fair price for the house. And if they're not willing to negotiate, find another one. As rates go up, if it impacts values, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you pay too much for that house now.
Yep, absolutely, and we've seen that happen over the years, just for sale by owners that are priced way out of line. They're not in line with values. Seen some big
Absolutely.
challenges there. And those get recorded in public record just like the other sales do, right? If it's from a realtor or if it's sold by owner, it still goes to the same database, and that's what you were referring to earlier.
That's correct. So, these websites, online, they're gonna pull all those sales. And you never want to base your sale price on a statistical outlier. If everything in the neighborhood is $200,000 and all of a sudden there's a $350,000 sale and there's no reason why, don't go off that sale. There's probably a problem. And, see if it was arm's length. It may not have. But the problem is a lot of times these for sale by owners are just looking at that one sale going, well, mine's better, so I can get that. And they're just not realistic. A good story is I just got hired and I turned this job down because they were in an area that wasn't quite up where the South Tampa market is, but they wanted me to appraise their house using comparables from down there.
Right.
So they wanted me to they thought the value should be over $1 million over about what I think the appraised value would have been. And I turned the job down. I said, you're not going to be happy with my appraisal, and I'm not going to do it. And I'm certainly not going to do something that would violate normal appraisal practice to give you an appraisal that I don't know what you're going to use it for.
Right.
So you have to be careful of these people, because the reason they told me they wanted the appraisal probably isn't what they wanted it for. And
Right.
I would bet, what's the phrase, I'll bet dollars to donuts that somebody was on the back end waiting for this appraisal to give them a sale price on that house.
That's right. Yep, it was going to be a situation where they were going to show that appraisal to somebody, and then somebody was going to overpay. And so, good for you for standing up and having those ethics, standing up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I want to bring a clip into the show. Another clip. LeBron James speaks out about these mandates and everything going on in the country, the jab mandates. Here we go. Quick clip here from LeBron James.
The king himself finally spoke about the vaccine. Correct. In May, he actually avoided the conversation with reporters, which got him in a lot of trouble. But on Tuesday at Lakers Media Day, which was the only remaining NBA team to have a media day on Tuesday, he announced that he did get the vaccine. But surprisingly, he pretty much said it's everybody's individual choice whether they should receive it or not.
But you don't think the issue is important enough for someone with your stature to speak out on it?
We're talking about individuals' bodies, so I don't feel like, for me personally, that I should get involved in what other people should do for their bodies and their livelihoods.
Yep. So he came out and said individuals' bodies, so they have their choice, and then the livelihoods as well. That's the other second part. So it just seems like, again, another government overreach, in my opinion, and many people's opinion as well. So yeah, the government shouldn't be telling us what to put in our bodies and using it. And by the way, it's not even a real vaccine; it's an RNA if you research it. But let's go to our final thoughts here. So Diane, give us your parting words of wisdom, top tips, nuggets of advice.
Top tip is to get busy and start to get pre-approved while interest rates are low, and they will go up, but they will not go up crazy. It's not going to be, it's not going to go up so fast that people aren't going to be able to afford things, but do get started.
DianeVance.com. Check her out there online, DianeVance.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage, quick and easy pre-approval process as well. Ray Hall, final thoughts.
Don't go into any real estate transaction without first, conferring with a real estate professional, whether it's a realtor like Brandon or an appraiser like myself. You want someone with experience and knowledge of the market who's dealing with the market on a daily basis, because right now it's a very difficult market to navigate through. And if you're not careful, you're really going to hurt yourself in the long run.
Yep, absolutely. And we want to be that resource for you for 80 different categories here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, whether you need information about real estate, mortgage, credit, finance, estate and tax planning. We've got great attorneys, CPAs associated with the show, self-defense experts, solar company. Great ways we can help you here on the program. Reach out to our hotline. We would love to connect with you, 813-750-0550. You can call or text the hotline, 813-750-0550. Of course, consumerqb.com is our website where you can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on the show to help you understand your buying decisions and help you avoid a lot of that commission-based advice that's so prevalent out there in our community. And as we always say, we want you to please go out there and do something kind for one another, be a force for good in the community, and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please follow us online. Go to YouTube right now and subscribe to our channel, youtube.com, Brandon Rhymes Realty, and that would be a great favor for us. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.